Howdy folks, Eric here, back with another standard brew. Today revisiting an old deck of mine, Rakdos Jecht, updated a little bit for TMNT standard. Not going to go into too much detail, but the core synergy here is Jecht Reluctant Guardian is a clunky 4/3 menace that when it hits your opponent, does a pretty powerful thing, flips into a 7/7 menace, card advantage engine that kind of threatens to just end the game, or at least put the game out of your opponent's reach. Kind of hard to hit consistently, low toughness, but if we manage to give it haste, which we can do with Summon Brynhildr, which is just kind of a solid card advantage piece on its own, but also has Gestalt mode to give creature spells you cast haste. We can kind of catch our opponents off guard, swing in, and hopefully flip it pretty quickly. The other way we can accomplish this is the sneaky one of Colstoke Gearhulk, who does the same thing, reanimates eject, gives it haste, gives it death touch if that's relevant, but also with a finality counter, which doesn't matter because when we connect with Jecht's ability, it'll flip and stick around. 3 Overlord of the Bailmerk to help us dig for either of these kind of combo pieces, and the rest is sort of this mid-rangey Delirium solid creature shell with a lot of removal. 4 Burst Lightning, 4 Requiting Hex, 4 Bitter Triumph, and 2 Deadly Cover-Up. A total of 25 lands, including 4 Raucous Theater to help us sort of dig, set up our Delirium. 3 Soulstone Sanctuary, 3 Realm of Ko, and then some good sideboard options here. Not perfect. One of the flaws of this deck is we are pretty soft to Rest in Peace, so that's why we have a couple Withering Torment here in the side as a Hail Mary sort of answer to it. Otherwise, Duresses, Soul Guide Lanterns, Magebane Lizards, and then the extra Deadly Cover-Up and Pyroclasms for go-wide matchups. I think it's a very fun list. I think when it works, it looks really, really good. It's just a matter of sometimes, like, your opponent has blockers. Like, I imagine this list is not that good into mono-green landfall. But on the other hand, I also feel like the presence of Simic Ouroboros lists has somewhat decreased in the meta, and we should be pretty good into, like, Is It Prowess, for example, with how much cheap removal we're on. So hopefully we get some good matchups today. Let's take it into some ranked games and see how we do. All right, starting out on the play here. Pretty solid opener. Mana's a little slow, but good mix of land, spells, proactive, reactive. Got the one of Gearhulk here. I think I'm just going to keep it to 3 matches today. This is a pretty grindy list. And I'm a little sleepy. So we'll keep it to 3 matches. Leads on a Stormchaser's Talent with a Gloom-like Verge. Blood Crypt is a nice draw for us. Let's start getting these Brynhildrs out of our hand. Keep up on tempo. Hits a Burst Lightning. Lots of good cheap interaction in our list. The main thing we get from recent sets, I don't think I added any TMNT cards. I thought about Skateboard. There's also that 3-mana red creature, which is kind of cool. The 3-mana 4/3, enters, draw 3, and then discard 3 at random at the beginning of your next upkeep. I think that card is kind of sweet, actually, and I wouldn't be surprised if we started seeing it pop up more in, like, Rakdos discard lists. The other main thing, so we do get 2 cards that are important from Lorwyn Eclipsed, though, namely Blood Crypt being huge, and then the 4 main deck Requiting Hexes. Let's just go ahead and cast a Burst Lightning here. Make use of it while we can. Take them off of an Otter. Go for a Raucous Theater. FOMO is a decent draw. We could also just get it in our graveyard. Yeah, let's keep that on top. And then I'm gonna hold back a blocker here. Kind of force them to generate enough prowess to swing through. I don't think getting that early 2 damage is that important here. Well, it looks like they do have the prowess. We'll go ahead and jump anyway. I don't think haste right now is a huge deal. We're not setting up into eject. Save ourselves some early life points. Looks like they might be stuck on 2 lands, which is kind of huge for us. Let's go for the FOMO here, see if we can get an untapped land. Just discard the Realm of Ko for now. There's an untapped land. Go for our Brynhildr. Delirium online. Karsi Revenant on top. So they have to kill the Brynhildr. Otherwise, we have a hasty Revenant that we can trigger the FOMO ability on next turn. Start fighting back on life total. FOMO and Brynhildr are a solid combination. Of course, giving haste to your FOMO, classically pretty big game, but also Brynhildr dying and putting itself in the graveyard to help enable a fast delirium is pretty nice. Flood Pit's Drowner. Pretty weak turn from our opponent. Requiting Hex, nice draw. Let's get the Revenant going. With haste. All of our 3-drops work pretty nicely with the Brynhildr too, except, I mean, Tursa naturally has haste, so not super important there, but Hasty Revenant and Hasty Slasher are pretty good as well. Next turn, we get a Hasty Coalstoke Gear Hulk, bringing back a Karsi Revenant or a Brynhildr as well. The resources are starting to pile up here. Unfortunately, you know, a lot of our advantage here is just due to the fact that our opponent is like stuck on lands pretty severely. They managed to hit their 3rd land drop, but let's go ahead and in response to this Nowhere to Run trigger, blight this Requiting Hex onto an Otter. Another Storm Chaser's Talent. Swinging in. Yeah, I think I'd rather just trade here. I don't think the haste on the Coalstoke Gear Hulk is as important. Draw a Jecht. Could just play a Jecht. Could go Coalstoke Gear Hulk, bring back a Brynhildr. Does it have to attack this turn? Beginning of your next end step, exile that creature. Okay. Could bring back a FOMO. Get 2 attacks off of the Karsi Revenant here. That's pretty good. Let's go for that. Actually, this might have been lethal if I had just left the Brynhildr. Maybe that was my mistake. Hasty Coalstoke Gear Hulk with FOMO trigger. Let's go ahead and discard this Bitter Triumph. Draw into a Blood Crypt here. Give another attack to the Revenant. Gain quite a bit of life. I think we can play a tapped Blood Crypt here. Other consideration is holding it for a possible Tursa draw. You don't see this guy come up at all, ever. I don't know why. It's, I agree it's maybe not the most consistent effect, but it's also not the worst card in the world. Its body his body is decent, right? 5/4 Menace Death Touch for 5. Decent. Menace is pretty big. I don't know why it has Death Touch necessarily. But its effect is pretty good in the right circumstances. Nowhere to Run. Let's go for Karsi Revenant activation on our Coalstoke Gear Hulk. They're clearly representing this Nowhere to Run. Go ahead and swing with the guys, and then we can just, when they go to Nowhere to Run and block. Oh no, they're just dead to this. Great. They're just dead to that. I mean, they could have stopped that a little bit, but the Menace flying was kind of the nail in the coffin there. Bring in some Pyroclasms, I think. At the very least, it's pretty good for slowing down their crazy Otter starts. Probably go down a couple Bitter Triumphs, although I'm kind of anticipating that this list is playing that, what's the card called? It's the 3-mana Entity Tracker. Draws cards when enchantments enter. And if we take out all of our Bitter Triumphs, we just don't have an answer to that. So maybe we go down Requiting Hexes instead. And think of the Pyroclasm as a tool for managing the Otters and everything else. Let's go up to all 3 Pyroclasms then. This seems pretty good. Go down a Deadly Cover-Up. Possible that they brought in Rest in Peace, but being on the Otter talent, I doubt that's the case. Magebane Lizard damage could add up, and it dodges Nowhere to Run. Let's just try it like this. Game 2. On the draw. Decent opener here. Dream Beavers. Dream Beavers. What do we think about Dream Beavers so far? I don't know if I've been too impressed by it. Lead on events here, and then we can go Hex and Burst Lightning next turn. Keep them off of an early Kaito. It seems fine. I don't know. If you're able to consistently do... They kept a 1-lander? What's going on here? Well, I think we can afford to go for an Overlord then. Kept a 1-lander, huh? Whiff on the Overlord. They know about my Pyroclasms. Mill a few lands in the process. Hopefully that doesn't bite us. They top deck a Godless Shrine. Huge for them. Sig Wanderwine Wisdom. I like this card. Maybe the next deck I do is going to explore this a bit more. Because it reads very well, I think. Let's go for Summon Brynhildr here. Maybe we hit a land and then we can play this Realm of Ko if not. And just Requiting Hex this Sig. Makes sense to me. Get that out of my life. Maybe they have another one in hand. Could have done it at instant speed, maybe. But once again, I mean, on the other hand, they could just pick it up with the Kirin, perhaps. No blocks here. Nurturing Pixie. Getting a wide board going. Wouldn't mind a Pyroclasm. Bitter Triumph. Go for a FOMO. We're kind of close to setting up this Jecht idea, actually. Let's discard 1 Jecht. There's a Pyroclasm. We have Delirium. Could just start kind of jamming. If they go to double block, we can ranch them a little bit. Do I attack here? I kind of think so. Because I'm going to kill off my Brynhildr to Pyroclasm anyway. Maybe they think about blocking. They did think about it, and they do it. I'll just pass it back to you. Pyroclasm looking pretty good. Island. Nowhere to run. Okay. Curious to know if they have a Spell Snare here. Show me another Otter. Boomerang basics. Hachi Machi. Okay. Feeling pretty good then. Jecht does die to Nowhere to Run. Maybe that is an argument for taking more out of the main board. Taking him out post board, I mean. Go for a Pyroclasm. Pass it back to you. Overlord ticking down. Possibly going to be a problem for our opponent here pretty soon. We are relatively low on life. And they are pretty up on cards as well. Nurturing Pixie. Getting big advantages here. Probably just have to Burst Lightning a Pixie. Doing the thing. Tapped Starting Town. Another Boomerang basics? Okay. Alright. Well, maybe I don't even Burst Lightning. Maybe I just, like, cross my fingers for my third Pyroclasm here. It's not like I can, like, reasonably play Jecht here anyway with the Nowhere to Run in hand. Summon Brynhildr. That's a pretty good hit, actually. If they tap out, could catch them off guard, get them with the Jecht here. Karsi Revenant exiled. Overlord unimpended. See if they have a good answer for this. They gave up all of their... Maybe not all of their Boomerang basics, but several Boomerang basics in the face of this Overlord. Maybe it's like a double Nowhere to Run play, at which point we're looking pretty good. They're reading my cards. Karsi Revenant exiled with the Brynhildr, which is good, but also dies to the Nowhere to Run. I kind of think I'm just going to go for a Burst Lightning on this Otter. Forces them to have a double spell here to protect it. And on top of that, the double spell would probably have to include this Nowhere to Run. Maybe they have an answer that just ranches me, but I doubt it. Otter dies. Passes. Unstoppable Slasher. Okay, maybe we go for the Slasher here then, because it's not so bad into the Nowhere to Run. Swing in with both of these guys. Has something. Ang. Okay. Swing with the Overlord here. There's our last Pyroclasm. Maybe we grab the FOMO? FOMO's a bit flexible. Brynhildr also actually probably pretty good. Lets us consider like double spelling next turn with a Brynhildr into Slasher. FOMO is a little more aggressive though. Nowhere to Run doesn't come up too often these days, but it is pretty good against us. A lot of 3 toughness creatures here. Swanging in. Let's go ahead and just block with the Brynhildr for some action. Keep our life total high. Maybe this is double Nowhere to Run here. I think I might be okay with that, to be honest. It's double Nowhere to Run here. That's kind of okay, right? Spending some cards opens up our Jecht. We get to Brynhildr and Slasher here. Start contesting them on the ground. Burst Lightning, actually probably a pretty good draw. Burst Lightning and Otter. Maybe I just Bitter Triumph this Aang, actually. It'll cost me a little bit of life. Am I dying to anything here? They can't flip the Aang. Let's just play the Slasher. And then we have Hasty Jecht next turn. If the Brynhildr lives. They can level up the talent, grab a Boomerang Basics, but that's it. I don't think they can really reasonably, like, attack me and have nothing else going on. Requiting Hex hits me. That could be it. Maybe they just level up the talent here. Another Bitter Triumph. I wonder if they have like Aang as their last card. Let's just go ahead and hit them here. Or it could be Enduring Curiosity, I suppose. Sun Pearl Kirin. Picking up a Nowhere to Run. Killing my Slasher. Okay, I kind of have no choice then but to double Bitter Triumph here then. Slasher dies, but it'll come back. Double Bitter Triumph puts me to 1. And then they level up a talent. Grab a Boomerang Basics, make an Otter. And then I have Soulstone Sanctuary, which they can't Boomerang Basics. Kaito, the Bane of Nightmares. The Bane of Nightmares. Realm of Ko. What do we have here? We have fire up the Restless Vents. swing at Kaito, try to discard this Realm of Ko into a Burst Lightning. I only have one left. We have activate the Soulstone Sanctuary, and then they just tap it with Kaito. We have activate the Restless Vents or Soulstone Sanctuary in combat to block for a chump, for another look. That's not particularly game-winning. But I could draw into, like... I could draw into a Burst Lightning on the Kaito. I think I'm gonna risk it here. Not that I think this is the right play, but because I also can't imagine the like hold up a chump manland is the right play either. Like I just can't imagine winning in that scenario. So I think I'd rather just risk maybe the very low chance that I hit there. Did not work. Let's bring in the Magebane Lizards. Go down a Deadly Cover-Up. Go down a Jecht. Now we have a little more information. The Aang stuff is pretty annoying. I run it like that. Alright, match 1, game 3. Pretty good hand here. Gonna keep this. Yeah, great mix of proactive, reactive, good early interaction too. We have this emergency stop Pyroclasm in case they go out of hand, get out of hand with Otters. Lead on a Verge. Let's go for the FOMO first. No, that's a little silly. Let's go for the Brynhildr. Make them answer it. Hit a Blazemire Verge. That's not awful. Not awful, not great. At least it's something we can do. Or something we can use. Nowhere to run. 1 for 1. Bitter Triumph. Let's go ahead and discard this mountain here. I think we can afford to do that. Draw a Soulstone Sanctuary. Pass it to ya. Early FOMO on the field. Yeah, kind of crazy to run into the nowhere to run list match 1. I mean, you never see this anymore, you know what I mean? And it happens to line up pretty nicely against what we're doing. Seems like they're holding up an Aang here. Play a Sanctuary. Try to hit him. If they Aang this, I don't really care. They could also go for a Kirin, pick up their nowhere to run. Requiting Hex. Fine. Pass it back to ya. Sun Pearl Kirin. Hits my Soulstone Sanctuaries too. The nowhere to run. We have an answer to Kaito at least. I'm going to go ahead and just Hex this Kirin. I don't want them to get a free Kaito like this. Be able to pick up their Kirin again. Kirin the Kirin. Okay. Kirin back and forth forever. I really got to know how good they're finding this list in the meta overall, because it's very, very good against what we're doing. But I guess I'm happy to see something different on the ladder at the very least. Let's put it that way. Pixie, I would imagine they're picking up the Kirin here. Let's just go ahead and kill this off. Gosh, I don't know. I don't have any recourse to any of this. Unstoppable Slasher. That's maybe not a bad draw. They can certainly slow it down. Let's try to drag this out, see how much we can get them to commit into this Pyroclasm before wasting the Bitter Triumph, I guess. It's really our only option with how many cards they have in hand. They're not doing anything, but they're making it hard for me to like make use of my interaction, and thereby generating a lot of card advantage. think I'd like to see like an overlord of the Baelmerk to impend. Give us something to make use of this slow, like, back and forth board state. Bounces my slasher. Okay. Play a slasher. I don't really mind that they bounce the slasher there. Pass it back. I wonder if they just have nothing else going on. Is it like 4 Kieran in hand? Yeah, surely they have to go for this nowhere to run, right? So they can open up casting these Kieran reasonably. Maybe we just burst lightning the Pixie now. Keep them off of a critical mass of stuff. I think I like that. Slows down the game even more. If I can get 2 Kieran with 1 Pyroclasm, I think I'm still pretty happy. FOMO. Do I just pass here? I play a FOMO. I have to discard something. Yeah, I think I'm going to pass. Let's wait and see if I can maybe draw, like actually draw off the FOMO. Shocks themselves. Hits me. Passes. Maybe I'm supposed to like fire up the Soulstone Sanctuary there to bait out. Bait out the nowhere to run. I think I'm just going to keep passing. Kills the Slasher again. Gotta imagine they pick up the nowhere to run. Maybe they go for like the final blow on the Slasher too. Just to get rid of it completely. And maybe I get to sneak in a Soulstone Sanctuary activation in there. Shocks themselves. Has an Aang on top of everything else maybe? Or a Kaito here? Kaito. So I fire up the Soulstone Sanctuary, get them to nowhere to run the Soulstone Sanctuary, and then I get to Bitter Triumph the Kaito without them being able to nowhere, or without them being able to pick it up with the Kieran. And then my Unstoppable Slasher is still around, possibly. Duress. Fire up the Soulstone Sanctuary. Running low on life here. Blood Crypt. Move to combat. Try to hit Kaito. They let me do it. Okay. Interesting. Let's start playing FOMOs then. Discard a Blood Crypt. Burst Lightning. Burst Lightning lets me kill Kaito. Here. So let's get rid of the Bitter Triumph. Is that crazy? I think that's okay. Because I think they're gonna flash something in end step. They simply can't help themselves. Pass it to you. Blood Pit's Drowner. We get to kill the Kaito. And now we have a Pyroclasm, which is not going to hit anything on our board, but it's going to clean up their board pretty nicely. Karsi Revenant, kind of a big draw. If we manage to win this game, I'll be pretty happy with myself. I feel like take some guts not just casting cards out of your hand and actually kind of thinking about how the game's going to play out. Not guts. I don't know how I want to put it, but I feel like it's easy to be like, I'm panicking. I just need to cast stuff to like put things on the board. And I kind of feel like actually waiting on these FOMOs and everything else is maybe going to pay off. And I don't think we're winning the game where I just jam everything as I draw it, you know? Patience. Patience. Still, dying in the air here. I guess we go ahead and swing. We go ahead and swing, and then we Pyroclasm. Reduce their material. Pyroclasm. And then we summon Brynhildr so that we get to haste in this Karsi Revenant, perhaps. Sunpearl Kieran. FOMO plus Slasher on the field. Burst Lightning, man. Oh, would have been nice to be able to cast that. Opted to leave up the Soulstone Sanctuary instead for possible blocks. Nowhere to run. Killing off Brynhildr, okay. No more hasty Karsi Revenant, but we do have a Karsi Revenant. They also kind of have to deal with this board. I'm pretty sure they're actually just dead to this board if they don't have any other gas. Vigilance on the Sanctuaries with the Delirious FOMO. See what they have in hand. Could be like an Aang. Sunpearl Kieran. Is that the last one? No, they have one more somewhere. Okay. Presumably they're killing the FOMO here. Which means my Karsi Revenant might survive. Swing in. Slasher been around probably since turn 3. Is that right? What a grindy ass game. Ooh, they chump. Huge. Play Karsi Revenant. Hold the swamp here. Karsi Revenant, if they don't have a way to pick up that nowhere to run, could really fight us back, get us back into this game. Or if they don't have another way to answer it. 3 cards in hand, get lost. Okay. Still, not wholly dealt with. This is 2 lands in hand. Maybe we're still in this. Is this Kaito? This feels like Kaito, okay. And then what? Have they played a land drop? They can stun the Slasher. They stun the Slasher. Do you have a land drop? Tapped Watery Grave. So we go lifelink on the Soulstone Sanctuary. Start popping some maps too. Pad our life total. I mean, if we can grow this into a 4 toughness creature, we're feeling excelente. Kill off the Kaito. Huge. I can't believe we're going to win this one. I can't believe we're going to win this one. Top decking a FOMO was huge too. Redraw off the Brynhildr, redraw off the FOMO. What a grindy match. A battle of 2 Titans, truly. 2 off-meta grindy lists. Draws another Kaito. Actually pretty good for them. Maybe we're not winning this. Actually pretty good for them. Go for Brynhildr. Because they get to Sunpearl Kieran, pick up their nowhere to run. Unstoppable Slasher once again, no longer stunned, so they have to kill it again. Might as well hit them with the FOMO here. Kinda huge. Give me like a shock. Realm of Ko. Play the tapped Blood Crypt, pass it to you. Realm of Ko is interesting. Not great. Ooh, it's really coming down to the wire. Stunning my Vigilance, Lifelink, Flying Soulstone Sanctuary. Really coming down to the wire, folks. Oh my gosh. Swinging in for 2. Not swinging with Kaito. Interestingly enough, I kind of feel like maybe they should, right? What am I going to do? Double block it? No. Kind of think I have to chump. Do they have an extra sneaky 2 damage anywhere? I have to chump, right? Because I can't put myself in a position where I'm just dead to another hit from the Kieran. I think that's kind of a silly way to lose the game. Try to kill Kaito next turn. They get a redraw. Surveil 2. They take something. Something from the top 2. Storm Chaser's Talent. No. Okay, well, they got their little late game infinite engine, I guess. Kind of stupid. Oh, the best card in Standard and has been for a long time. Somehow keeps finding its way into the meta. I'm not salty. I'm just like, I'm a little salty. I'll admit. I'll admit. This card is just, why does it get to be one of the best early game plays and the best late game play? Damn, what a good top deck. Kind of feels like it's gonna put the game out of reach here, barring a really, really nice top deck for us. Like if we hit a Colstoke Gear Hulk from downtown, that might do it. Basics on the slasher. Land. Wow. I guess there's nothing to be said other than good game. Move on to the next one. All right. On the play, match 2. Great opener. We have the little combo here. Lead on a theater. Let's skip on that theater. We're pretty likely to hit a land in our next few draws here. Opponent leads on an Overgrown Tomb. Respect. Go for a Brynhildr. Tursa. Wouldn't mind casting that. It won't benefit from the haste, but best to make use of our Brynhildr cards while we have them. Wastewood Verge. Trying to read my opponent's name. Japanese is a little rusty. I know this is the kanji for surround or well, perhaps, often read E. And this is the hand kanji, and then 1 stress. It's like ikin, maybe. Hitosuji, perhaps. I don't know. Someone with more knowledge or immediate access to a translation dictionary, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Sound off in the comments. What the fuck is this guy's name? I'll give it my best, most earnest attempt to read it right now, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. I keep wanting to say Ijo Hitosuji. There's no way that's right, though. There's no way that's right. Could be a name. What did they just do? Deceit? Hit them for 3. I gotta get back to my studies. I gotta get back to the Wani Kani. Get back to the Genki. The knowers will know. The non-knowers, well, I'll get back to Magic as well. Hit him with a Karsi Revenant. Pass it back. It's gotta be Sultai Reanimator. There's the Caballero. Takes a Deceit instead. Must have a Caballero in hand, perhaps. Goes for another Deceit. Why do they care about my hand? I'm surprised to see this. Takes a Bitter Triumph. Soulstone Sanctuary. Okay. Pass it back to you. Passes it back to me. Fire up the Soulstone Sanctuary. Stuck on lands. Burst Lightning, actually probably a pretty good draw. Gives us a little extra sneaky reach here. Feels like they're going to kill one of my creatures, though. Bitter Triumph, discards a demon. Yeah, that'll probably spell the end for me. Go ahead and kick this Burst Lightning. We do have deadly cover-ups in our deck, but the fact that they just took me off of my 5th land with that little maneuver probably means I can't come back from this one. Padding my life total a bit. Caballero. Bring back everything. We get eject. I don't think Jecht's gonna do much here. Bitter Triumph. Yeah. Let's move it along. I could start killing stuff, and then maybe I draw. I don't know. I just need too many turns, I think, to bring it all together. Bring in Soul Guide Lanterns. Bring in our Deadly Cover-Ups. Pretty good answer to what they're doing. Take out all of the requiting hexes. And I think we run it like that. Forgot to unpause. I never do that, but I did just do it now. Into game 2 here. On the play. Decent hand. Brynhildr into FOMO here. Opponent leads on an Overgrown Tomb. Draw into a Deadly Cover-Up, which is pretty huge for us. Had to look up the name, by the way, of my opponent in between in between sideboarding there. Ide Kazushige, which apparently is a at least well-known enough Magic player that they had a Google search result when I just Googled Ide Kazushige, their name, that they came up in some Japanese results or something. I don't know. So shout out to you, my opponent, Glarb Calamity Augur. I would have never gotten that name reading in a million years, by the way. I got E, I got Te, but Kazushige? I've never seen that in my life. I mean, I've seen the kanji, but not that. The way it's read. You know anything about Japanese, you know names are tricky. Names are tricky and don't really use standard readings typically. At least in my experience. Has a Glarb on the field. Maybe I should have just killed the Glarb. Too busy getting hung up on this this name thing. Deceit. I could let them take the Bitter Triumph. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna let them. I'm gonna let this happen. Presumably they take a Deadly Cover-Up, right? See if they do anything else here. Quantum Riddler. Okay. Knowing the status of them being on like so many evoke things and Riddlers and whatnot, I think I do just have to kill the Glarb. Otherwise, I could collect evidence on this Deadly Cover-Up, take them off of all of their future deceits so that they can't like Caballero deceit me next turn. I'm just gonna kill this guy. They get to surveil too. Leaves 2 on top. That's not usually a good sign. I really have no choice, I think, but to let them do a Caballero Deceit thing if they want to. Let's go ahead and fire up the vents. Discard this Blazemeyer Verge. Another Deadly Cover-Up. Okay. Well, maybe we're fine again. Maybe we're fine again. On the full playset. Deadly Cover-Up of their own. Takes me off of my Deadly Cover-Up almost surely. So I get a couple redraws at the very least. That's pretty funny. That doesn't happen too often. 2 lands. Well, not great for us. Keep getting in with the vents here. Discard a Verge. Jecht. It'd be nice to do anything with Jecht even once. Slasher, sure. Them deadly covering up my Deadly Cover-Ups, though, means that I no longer probably have a way realistically to win this game. Although they're going for a bit of a fair Caballero here, which is not the worst for us. Let's just commit to the board then. We'll show them everything. Make them have another deadly cover-up, I suppose. No hasty Jecht, unfortunately. Maybe this man needs a skateboard. Perhaps the man needs a skateboard. I had one initially, and I was like, I don't know. Not a very good top deck, you know what I mean? And I kind of feel like this list is kind of positioned to have pretty good top decks. Swings for 4. Starting to fight me back on life total. Draw a Brynhildr. So let's play the Brynhildr here, and then probably plan to fire up the Sanctuary, depending on what we hit here. Bitter Triumph. Yeah, let's just go ahead and take them off of the Caballero. Bitter Triumph my Slasher. Okay. Slasher back. We could maybe have a window here where we draw into lethal. If we hit like a Coalstoke Gear Hulk, that's lethal, assuming they don't have interaction. Actually, even if they have interaction, that is lethal. I mean, sorry, even if they have blockers, that's lethal. Probably not lethal outside of them having interaction. Probably not lethal if they have interaction. I cannot talk today. I cannot talk. Wistfulness. Gets to kill off my summon Brynhildr. R.I.P. in peace. This is a full cast, right? Do they have the demon? Wouldn't mind drawing a Soul Guide Lantern. Help us fight through the demon play. FOMO is a fine draw. Nice little redraw. Fire up the Restless Vents here. Try to hit a Soul Guide Lantern. Ooh, close. Soulstone Sanctuary. Is there any benefit to playing this? Probably not. If they have the demon in hand and they can pick up the Caballero, I think that's probably GG. That's not the demon. Grabs a Wistfulness, just trying to beat me on the board here. Just cast another Wistfulness. Okay. So they're kind of putting themselves in a position where if I just top deck a Burst Lightning now, they're dead? That feels a little weird. Overlord. Could still hit a Coalstoke Gear Hulk here for lethal. So let's just impend this. Tapping kind of funny. Karsi Revenant in the graveyard. Maybe we go for a Brynhildr for haste, or probably a FOMO for a redraw, right? Hello? Hello? Arena, are you with us? Or is my opponent trying to do something with this on the stack? Oh! Alright. Game crashed. Back in. Grab the FOMO. Play the land first. Play the land. Play the FOMO. Redraw. Try to hit something good. Land. Not great. Let's just plan to fire up this Soulstone Sanctuary. And then maybe we can get a Karsi Revenant on it. Overlord. Could be bad. We do have some material in our graveyard at this point, though. Not a whole lot. It's a Caballero. Goes for the Caballero, exiling Karsi Revenant. Oh. Okay. They're still dead to a Burst Lightning. Fire up a Soulstone Sanctuary. Raucous Theater. I have Delirium. Do I just swing out here? Say I fire up the Restless Fence, swing out, try to redraw into removal here. Give the Slasher another attack, or give the Restless Fence another attack, so they kind of have to double block it. And then if they double block that, they block the Slasher with this, meaning I'm getting in for 5 at the very least. I think this is okay. This is all kind of assuming they don't have more removal. I could also fire up another Soulstone Sanctuary. Make a pretty nice attack that way. I think the Menace is a little more important, maybe. And being able to, like, filter away our draws here. I could play a Raucous Theater first. I think I'm just going to jam. Cross our fingers here. Jecht. Okay. At least it's something. Blocks the FOMO. Blocks the Soulstone Sanctuary. Blocks the Slasher. Fine. I guess one thing I could have done here maybe is, like, not tapped the Soulstone Sanctuary and used this opportunity to fire it up after these blocks to swing again with the second Sanctuary. They cycle a Harvester, making it so my Slasher does not kill their Wistfulness. They go up to 6. I'm not going to swing here, right? I guess they have to give something up in the process, but they get to gain another 4, too, if they block with the Caballero, which is not great for me. I don't know. It keeps them off of future life gain. Maybe that's bad. Maybe I don't even discard anything and I just want to play the Jecht. But does Jecht even do anything? I don't know. I don't know. Discard the Swamp. We hit an Overlord, which is kind of nice. Trade this for a Wistfulness. Fill up our graveyard a little more. Don't fill up our graveyard at all. Let's take the FOMO here. Guaranteed redraw. Kinda just dead to the Flyers at this point, though. Annoyingly. Riddler, refill. Oh, I want this list to be good, folks. I want it to be good. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just not. Jecht never looks good. Jecht never looks good outside of specifically playing it on turn 4 with haste. Maybe you just need more ways to give it haste. Maybe the skateboard is right. Coalstoke Gearhulk with a Jecht in our graveyard? Do we finally at least get to do it once? I mean, I'm still dead. But do I finally at least get to do it once? I am still dead to the Flyers. Unless I draw... I don't know. What could I even draw here? Oh, they have removal for Jecht? Oh, no. Oh, no. This is cursed from the start, folks. Ah. We had it too good for too long with Bright Glass Deserts. All right. Scoop it up. Scoop it up. I'm going to play the last match. I don't know. Maybe Rakdos Jecht will never make a return here. Let's go for one last match, though. Match 3. We can do it. I've turned around. I've done a complete 180. We're winning this one. Got to mulligan that first hand. But we have what it takes. We've got Gusto. We've got Chutzpah. A healthy dose of self-confidence, self-worth. Opponent leads on a Sacred Foundry. With Jecht on my side, anything is possible. Ashling Rekindled. Some kind of elementals list. Discards a Get Lost. Go for our Overlord. Hope it hits. It hits. Mills a bunch of lands, which is actually kind of okay. Presumably they'll be flipping their Ashling here. Not looking very good for us if they manage to get the walking. Oh, what the fuck is that card's name? My brain is just so toast today. Go Ninja Go. Oh no. Some kind of cool blink list. Can't complain too much. Some kind of cool blink list. Play FOMO. Is FOMO just kind of like over the hill? Was it only ever good with Prophet's Eidetic Memory? Do people even play it in the Rakdos discard list? Or like the Rakdos Monument list? I can't remember. Surely they do, right? Opponent's kind of popping off here, though. Riddler on the field. See if they can support it. Go Ninja Go. Seems like a pretty cool card. We ran into this the other day. I mean, if they have another one, they totally ranch me here. Outside of drawing a Deadly Cover-Up, it's kind of a position that we probably can't recover from. Another Go Ninja Go. Okay. Hey, you know what? At the very least, we got a chance to see a bunch of, like, cool opponents lists, right? I mean, the last list wasn't that cool, but list number 1 was different, at the very least. Old, maybe, perhaps, but not really particularly meta anymore. And then this is pretty new and cool. Let's play around possible interaction here. I think I'm just so dead, though. I have to top deck a Deadly Cover-Up, and they have to not have any answers to it. Kind of a rough run, folks. Feeling a little downtrodden about this list. I put on a brave face at the top of this match, but it just kind of feels like we have good card advantage, but nothing that we do is impactful enough to actually put the game out of reach for our opponents, you know? Unless our board wipe lines up to what they're doing and we can kind of chip away. I think the lack, like, this is another mid-range list, right? Compared to the Bright Glass Deserts in recent memory. Both similar in ideas in that they are just mid-range lists with good answers, decent removal, right? I think where this falls short comparatively is we're not that big that quickly compared to how big the, like, green blades get, and also like we don't do anything particularly crazy powerful either. Grab a FOMO, I guess. We can just start trying to dump our hand here. I'm pretty sure we're toast here, though. I bet they just, like, bounce my Overlord and just ranch me. Yeah, opponent kind of out of the gates here. Big early Riddlers. Let's cut down on the Burst Lightnings in hand, or in our list here. Bring in, like, more instant speed removal for the Riddlers to keep them off of that play. I don't know that we want to go on full Deadly Cover-Ups. It's probably okay. Keep the Requiting Hexes. Go down the Burst Lightnings. Run it like this. Presumably they're doing Shiko stuff too if we're seeing Nia. Bring in the Soul Guide Lanterns. I just have a feeling. Go down a Jecht. Go down a FOMO, kind of small potatoes in the face of their creatures. On the play. Game 2. Pretty good hand. Run it. Pass it back to you. Being on the play is going to be pretty important here. As per usual, we'll be able to answer their 2-drop and then tap out for our 3-drop. I think we can win this game for sure. Whether or not we can win the match, I don't know, but this looks like a decent hand for the game. Kill off the Nia, sets it up for their Shiko, but that's okay. Go for the slasher here. See if this will be a thorn in their sides. Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. Are they going to do a little 2-for-1 action? I wouldn't mind that so much. Blood Crypt. Blood Crypt, not a bad draw. Let's discard a Deadly Cover-Up. Okay. Go to hit ya. A little Abrade. Got to assume they're going to rip this Soul Guide Lantern. Hit you for 3. Blood Crypt. Legend of Karuk. Pretty nice against us. Yeah, I mean, we're slow enough that we're just not putting enough pressure on them to exploit this, and we haven't seen our Jecht thing happen once ever. Karsi Revenant. I might as well just put that in my graveyard and rip it now. Start Lightning Helixing them every turn. I mean, if they have the Shiko right now, it's decent. They'll be able to cast this Nia Fabled Sky Climber. Flying Vigilance Haste. Whenever you play land from exile or cast a spell from exile, put a 1/1 counter on her. Blah, blah, blah. But mostly she's just like a nice tempo play that you can do with Shiko. Put 2 dumb big flyers on the field. Frostcliff Siege. We actually have an answer to that, interestingly enough. Shocks themselves. Got to imagine this is a Lightning Helix. No. Okay. Let's play the FOMO. Just discard this mountain here. Get a little more info. Slasher. I think I just have to take them off of the siege, right? Perhaps just a little too annoying long term. And maybe that's wrong. I could wait, maybe. Let them commit something. Maybe I'm a little too hasty to do that on my main phase here when they're probably not on any permission. Quantum Riddler. I think this card's a little underexplored in Standard. I feel like also people don't realize it has this extra bit of text that says Waterbend 20, take an extra turn after this one. Not that that's like a realistic thing to be doing. I mean, this Riddler Go Ninja Go thing seems like a pretty good combination in any sort of mid-range shell. Huge value. Go for the Raucous Theater. See if we can set up this Deadly Cover-Up. I mean, I guess it's already set up, huh? We'll leave this on top. Let's go for this. See if they do have any counter magic. Aang Swift Savior. Okay. So they've countered it once. Let's see if a second Deadly Cover-Up matters at all. Won't be able to collect evidence on this next one, but still, gotta wipe the board. But, I mean, okay, so they're pretty far from this taking an extra turn thing, right? And they're clearly in a winning position. They're not that far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 7 away. I wonder if there's like a way to like cast infinite spells in standard in a reasonable way to just like make infinite spirits and then activate this and then kill you on the next turn. You know what I mean? Oh, is this just lethal? Fire up the Aang. No. Deadly cover up. Go for our Brynhildr here. Tursa. Okay. So then we have, assuming they have nothing, Hasty Slasher plus Tursa. Winter Night Stories, that's fine. That's fine. Spending some mana here. Discard some lands. Ooh. We untap. Cast a Slasher. With haste. It's no Jecht. But this is a lethal attack if they have nothing. I might as well discard the Bitter Triumph, I feel like, right? Try to just like, okay, that's probably better than a Bitter Triumph. Pyrrhic Strike, destroying the Slasher. Still, taking a cool 5. I do kind of feel like killing the Frostcliff Siege in retrospect paid off. They would have been able to play a lot more aggressively with it on the field. Shiko can do another Go Ninja Go thing if they want. That's pretty cool. I mean, they can do this as often as they have Go Ninja Go, for as many Go Ninja Go's as they have in their graveyard, right? Just keep flickering it, exile, flicker, exile. It's kind of nuts. Into a Frostcliff Siege. Interesting. Trying to go for the throat a bit here. Hits me for 5. So I guess Bitter Triumph would have been better here in retrospect. Well, I'm not going to complain. Let's play around Lightning Strike, I suppose. Just discard this. Deadly cover-up. I guess if they have Lightning Strike, they get to kill my Tursa anyway. Get lost. So we're at a bit of parity. But they have a Winter Night Stories in the graveyard. So it's a false parity. Aang. Not lethal quite yet. Unless they have something. Hits me. Land. Land. Folks. Let me know in the comments. Is this the last you'd like to see of Jecht? Is it a poopy stinky idea? Is it? Should I just throw this one in the garbage heap? I don't know. I kind of feel like in standard, you just have to be a little more busted than this. And the quote-unquote strong thing that we're doing is just so disruptible that often we're just left with Jecht in hand, and it doesn't have haste. And even if it does, even if we do that, I guess it boils down to like one of two problems, right? Either our opponent does not have interaction, at which case they're probably mono green landfall, and they're going to block the Jecht, right? Or our opponent has interaction, and they just take us off of the ability to do the thing in the first place. And if we're just not that strong outside of that, you know what I mean? We're just doing this very slow, fair thing that doesn't matter and doesn't actually particularly line up well with anything maybe outside of if we were to run into like an aggressive matchup, having all of this cheap removal is pretty good. So that seems fine, but let's think about what we just ran into. It was like 3 big dumb value lists in a row, right? I mean, you can kind of call the Pixie list a big dumb value list, right? Because they have this late game like haymaker infinite value engine that we just can't beat, right? We're not fast enough to beat that. They have the inevitability. The Reanimator list has the inevitability. We were kind of close in that match, to be fair, kind of close. They took us off of our deadly cover-ups, and kind of put it away, put it out of reach. And then the final matchup, it's just like they outdraw us, and they have evasion, and their synergies are just better. Our synergies are just lacking. I think in standard right now, you need to have strong synergies. And this just doesn't. It just doesn't. It's not enough. It's not enough. I hate to admit it because I really like the idea, but I think until something comes along where we can more consistently give Jecht haste reasonably, like without too much investment and consistently, I think it's kind of a dud. Like, if we had like Arena of Glory, a modern staple, right? Red haste land to be able to consistently give Jecht haste, I think it would actually probably be pretty good. It'd be fun. It'd be playable at the very least, right? Because it's a 1-card investment that's just in your land. It's in your mana base, right? So you don't really have to do anything to enable it other than just play Arena of Glory, which is a great card anyway. And then sometimes you draw Jecht and you give it haste, and it's pretty good. Outside of that, being on the Brynhildr plan, it's just a fragile card. And your opponents are kind of incentivized to kill it early because it keeps you off of actually like getting any card advantage out of it. Yeah, kind of a dud, folks. Kind of a dud. Let me know. If you think this list sucked, be kind to me. If you think this list was fun but not quite there, and you want to see me try another time on Jecht, leave a little heart in the comment, and I'll appreciate that, and I'll take that to heart. But as for now, appreciate you watching. They can't all be Bright Glass Deserts. Can't win them all. See you tomorrow, where we will persevere, try something new, and I hope you will join me for that adventure. I've been Eric. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.